Alright, so this is going to be your first video on isometric drawings. You need to grab a pen, a pencil, your snapping cubes from your supply bag, either your protractor, I'm going to use my protractor because it's a little bit smaller, or you can use your ruler. And then lastly, you'll need the packet of isometric paper. And how you can tell it's isometric paper is because it has lines going back at 30-degree angles. All right, so it's going to look a little bit different than our ortho paper. Our orthographic drawings that we learned about are flat. All right, they're 2D. Isometric drawings we'll learn today are 3D drawings. So we're going to take our drawings and bring them to the next level and bring them into a 3D face. So I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to fill out, this is a title block, and at the bottom of your title block you have your name, your title, your date, and your period. I need everybody to fill those out. And remember, we're doing our notes in pen, so even though we're not taking them in our engineering notebook right now, they are still notes. We are going to tape or glue this sheet of paper into our engineering notebooks. So we will eventually do that. Today's date that I'm doing this on is September 2nd. You're going to write whatever date you are doing this on in your date slot. And you're going to write your period number. I'm going to leave that blank because I have 5 different periods that I'm going to be doing this for, so please fill in your assigned period number. All right, so the first thing that we need to go ahead and do is structure our notes like we always do, and that is with our 5 sections. So I'm going to move my paper down, and actually, let me go back. We already have our title, and I know our title isn't at the top of the page, so if that bothers you and you want to add it up here, you're more than welcome to. But technically, we're covered because our title is here. So that's section 1. Section 2 is our intro. So section 2, if you don't want to write the 2, don't do it. I just do it to make sure that I have all 5 requirements always. All right, so our introduction, remember this is going to be your purpose statement. Why are we doing this? All right, so the purpose of this is to learn how to draw. I'm going to call them figures. You can call them whatever you want. In 3D using isometric drawings. All right. So again, your purpose statement or your introduction statement does not need to match mine perfectly. However, if that makes sense to you and you would like to use it, please go for it. All right, so section 3 is going to be our activity, and this is where our notes are going to go. All right, so the first thing that I want to go ahead and do is just write the definition of an isometric drawing, and I like to color code things, so typically I try to write my definitions in a different color than I'm taking notes. You can do it however you would like. It is your notes. Please make sense of them however you need to. All right, isometric drawing. I also like to underline my note or my definitions, vocabulary words, so that they are easy to find for me. It is a 3D drawing. Okay, using the width, it's represented with a W. It's also going to be using the height of the object, which is going to be represented by H, and the depth, which is going to be represented by a D. Okay, now I know our orthographic drawings also use the width, the height, and the depth, but remember our orthographic drawings were flat. All right, your isometric drawings are not going to be flat. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue writing my notes in pen. If you would like to do this in pencil, this next part, you may. You just need to go over it in pen when you are finished. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a cube, and in that cube, I'm going to label the width, the height, and the depth. All right, so we're still going to be working with our top view, our front view, and our right side view. Okay, that is going to stay consistent with our orthographic drawings that we're already learned about. All right, our top view is still going to be using the depth and the width dimensions. Our front view is going to be using the width and the height dimensions, and the right side view is going to be using the depth and the height dimensions. All right, so again, all of that information is very consistent, I almost forgot how to spell, with our orthographic drawings. The way we go ahead and complete these drawings are a little bit different, and here's how. So I'm just going to make a point here, and I'm going to come straight up 1, 2, 3. How do I want to do this? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to come up 1 line, 2 line, and 3 line. This is maybe why you want to do a pencil to start off with, because I almost made a mistake. All right, so we're going to create a 3 by 3 cube. So I went up 3 lines, and then from that I'm going to follow my 30-degree angle lines. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to connect. All right, and then from this point again, I'm going to go back 30-degree angle, 1, 2, 3 lines, 1, 2, 3 lines, and connect. And then from each of my corners, I'm going to come back 1, 2, 3 lines, and 1, 2, 3 lines. All right, so there's my 3 by 3 cube. All right, and if you're not really seeing the cube, from here you would have some hidden lines, but my cube, as I was drawing it, was solid. If you throw in the hidden lines like I just did, that makes it transparent so that you can go ahead and see through it. You do not need to do the hidden lines. I was just showing you for a visual reference. Okay, now this view right here is your front view. This view here is your right side view, and this view here is your top view. Okay, the top view and the right side view share a depth, so this side here is going to be the depth, and this side here is also going to be the depth. Your top view also has the width, and so does your front view. So the width in your top view is going to be here, transfers over and down. So we also have the width in your front view. The front view also has the height as well as the right side view. So this is the height of my front view. It transfers over and over. and the right side view's height would be there. Okay, so in pencil, again, I'm just going to kind of show you. So from here to here is going to be your width. And if you need to do this in your notes, please do so. I'm just giving you a visual. You don't have to write this down. From there to there is going to be your depth. All right, from here, this point, to this point, that's where your height comes from. From here to here is where your depth comes from. Here to here is where your width comes from, and then your height is straight up and down, and that's where that comes from. Okay, so if doing these what we call extension and dimension lines, the extension lines are the ones that come out from the part. It's those extension lines, and then the dimensions are between your dimension lines. If that helps, write that down. If it doesn't, then don't write it down. I do not care. But that is how we're going to go ahead and create your isometric drawings from the front, the right side, and the top views. Now I have a trick that I'm going to show you in my next video in creating what I call the invisible box. All right, and the invisible box kind of looks like this, but we're going to be using the entire width, overall height, and overall depth of your object, whatever your object is, and then your object will fit inside of this invisible box that we go ahead and create. Stay tuned for video 2.